Good morning, Spirit. I feel you in my heart. What a way to start each day. Good morning, Spirit. I can always feel your love, and that'll be enough to light my way. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day.
Prayer? Okay. Bear with us. So I invite you to, can we turn me down just a bit? Thanks, Ed. I invite you to go to your heart space and connect with that beautiful spirit that we just heard singing about and we'll sing about afterwards. And we're so grateful to come together today for our spiritual feeding, our fellowship, our hugs, our encouragement, our inspiration. For it is truly a blessing to be able to come together in this place that we call Unity, our spiritual home. We hold in prayer all spiritual gatherings that are happening today, and in particular all the Unity gatherings. For we know there are many paths to the one God. We are all one. And I invite you to take a moment to whisper the names of anyone you would like to hold in prayer through our service and through the day. And we open our hearts and minds to the love that flows through each and every one of us, knowing that as we grow in spiritual understanding and transform our lives and each other's lives, we truly transform the world. For because there is only one power, one source, God, and God is good. God is love, and for this we are truly grateful. And so as we have our service today, I invite you to be aware of what might transform your lives through an idea, an inspiration, or something that touches your heart. And let's finish by singing a round together.
Good morning, Spirit. I feel you in my heart. What a way to start each day. Good morning, Spirit. I can always feel your love, and that'll be enough to light my way. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day.
Unity of London, and it is going to be a great day. It's already started out that way. It's beautiful. It's a great temperature, little puffy clouds, and we get to come together and join and have hugs and all kinds of good stuff. So if there is anyone here for the very first time, please go to the bookstore. You perhaps were given a little blue slip of paper for us to have your contact information, and we will not drive you crazy with all kinds of information, but once a week we will send you our This Week at Unity of London so that you know what's going on and you can come back. And also by bringing that little blue slip of paper into the bookstore, there's a gift for you. So Unity is founded on 5 basic principles. So together let's affirm those principles. Number 1, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. And our vision, unity worldwide, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And here at London, our mission is that we are a loving, inclusive community, co-creating with spirit to transform lives. Woohoo! Yay! And now we are going to sing together, and I invite you, if you're comfortable to do so, to stand.
I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the unity community down in my heart, down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the unity community. Down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the spirit that is part of me. Down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the spirit that is part of me. Down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. Got the love and faith and understanding down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the love and faith and understanding down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the blessings of the power of prayer down in my heart, down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the blessings of the power of prayer. Down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the happiness that peace can bring. Down in my heart, down in my heart. Down in my heart, I've got the happiness that peace can bring. Down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. Got my family at unity down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got my family at unity down in my heart, down in my heart to stay.
No? Unity is founded on affirmative prayer. If you would like one of our prayer chaplains to pray with you after the service today, I believe that that can happen with Wilda. And Wilda will be waiting for you just out these doors to the back of the fellowship hall and up the stairs. And all prayers are confidential. As well, if you would like ongoing prayer, this is a prayer box, and we have some paper here, and if you want to put the first name of someone on a piece of paper and drop it into the prayer box, our prayer angels at Unity will pray over this for 30 days, and then it will be sent on to Silent Unity for additional prayer, and first names only because God is all-knowing. As well, you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and a wonderful person will pray with you over the phone. And it is very, very helpful. And now I'm going to read from the Daily Word. In giving, I open to my highest purpose. The prayer of St. Francis tells it, for it is in giving that we receive. The simple act of sharing with someone opens my heart, creating an awareness of the energetic link between that person and myself. Every living thing is connected through the allness that is spirit. The carbon dioxide the plants need to survive is created in me, while the oxygen I need to breathe comes from the plants. Today, I look around and allow myself to see all the ways I am contributing to the world, and to realize all the world gives back to me in exchange. In giving, I take part in the divine flow of life. The more I give, the more my life receives, and the more expansively I express my divinity. And from Proverbs 18:16, a gift opens doors. It gives access to the great.
I think all of us, as we look around the world, have felt from time to time that we hoped, we wished, we prayed that there was more we can do, because there are so many things that need doing in the world. But sometimes to do the big jobs properly, you have to start with the small job. So here's a song about something that each one of us can do to improve the world around us. And if you'd like to sing along in the choruses, please, please, please feel free to do so. Gonna make a change for once in my life. Gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, the wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? Some disregard broken bottle talk in one man's soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan. Could it really be me pretending they're not alone? A widow deeply scarred, a somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Ain't no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Na 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 na. Well, thank you, and thanks for the help on the chorus.
Awesome. Kind of goes with my talk today. That's very good. Why? So it's been an interesting month for me. I don't know about you. I guess maybe a couple of months, as Rev Lori has encouraged us to talk about intention and think about intention. And For those of us that did the first step class, every day you were to set your intention and write it down, and then at the end of the day, journal about how well you followed through on your intention. And so for me, and when you start doing that, stuff bubbles up, and I'm guessing that's for all of us. And so I guess it would be, I don't know if the right words are apropos, but very fitting that Rev Lori would ask me to speak today, and it is the last Sunday of July, so our theme will change next month, but in looking at intention. So when I thought about this, I really thought, the question for me was why? Not why do I look at an intention, but when you set an intention, or if you don't set an intention, you should still be asking yourself sometimes, I think, why? Why am I saying this? Why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this? It's that exploration, and I think we ask it a lot of times. I mean, sometimes it's like, why? Why me? Well, it happens to everybody, so it's not just me. And one of the greatest, sense of relief for many of us that come to Unity is certainly there's no one out to get us. So we don't have a devil to blame things on, like Geraldine, if you remember Flip Wilson, right? Geraldine made me do it. So in exploring this, and we got power? Nope, we got no power. No green light. Can we flip? So principle number 3. So in relating a lot of this to our unity principles, we are co-creators with divine mind, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. So the interesting thing is that when you become a unitic or start coming to unity, you have to start taking responsibility, because it is not the devil making you do it. It's not God, causing this to happen because some power is going to punish you. It's you are responsible. And if you get caught up in those negative things and thinking about lack, for example, apparently that's what shows up in your life. Go figure. If you start thinking about abundance or health or positive, loving thoughts, really cool, great things happen. Go figure. I like that, Patty. So in my choice as well, I looked at Sue Monk Kidd and Brene Brown. So as I go through this, as most of you know, Rev Lori has a book on the Sunday kind of themes and the power of intention. But keep in mind, and if we could flip to the next slide, please, that, intent versus, thank you, Ken. So you can have an intent or you can go into judgment. This is what came into my mind. Why? Well, that's what Spirit said to me. That's what I'm going to choose to say. When you're into judgment, it's usually a negative form. And this is where I want you to kind of think about the fact of, because I had to really think about this, is why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking? And we tend to, my parents were really good at teaching me about judgment. And I can remember times my dad was involved in horse racing, and we go to the races, and my mom and I, or sometimes my mom and sister and I would be, having some fun, people watching. Oh, look at that outfit. Look at that person. Oh, look at that. And picking people apart. But it would drive me crazy when I would be watching TV as a young girl, and the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and or the different things that would excite me as a teenager or young girl on TV, and they'd be cutting. Oh, look at their hair. Look at that person. And I'd be like, well, you just, in my head, because you didn't say that to your parents in those days, can you just watch it and just not give out the judgment? And no. Back, please. Or you get into that judgment of yourself, that I can't, I'm not good enough. This all adds negative energy to the universe. And we're all adding or subtracting, but we're all giving out some sort of energy. And so when you're caught up in that judgment, whether it's about someone else or yourself, and often when it's someone else, there's something for you to look at. For example, I have learned through this process in the last couple of months, people drive me crazy. They do not behave the way I want them to, and I can't get them to. We have a young man at work that just drives me insane. And then as I'm going through this process of, intent and looking at things, I see in him that he's not being his best self. And I had to say to myself, because often what we see is a mirror to us, right? People mirror what we need to look at. And then I had to be really honest with myself. Sylvia, are you being your best self? Uh-oh. Apparently not. Intent is positive, and I say usually because sometimes people can have a negative intent. I'm going to get that son of a gun. You just wait. And so that's not a positive intent, but in unity and in the teaching of and reading about intent and really exploring it, it's setting your intent or your intention for your life, for your day, how you're going to treat people, how you're going to be. So intent is it has a purpose. It's not that negative, because there's really no purpose in being negative and judging yourself or people, but you're creating the life you're meant to live, and so you add positive energy and you create those positive experiences. So, there's something about this intent thing. So asking yourself, at times, why am I doing this? And sometimes this comes to habits. Why am I always, why do I want to have that second piece of cake sometimes? There's things that we use to cover up some of the things we don't want to look at. So often it's food. I can certainly relate to emotional eating. But why? Why do I want to cover up with food? Or sometimes it's an extra glass of wine. Why? Well, because I want one. But really? Is that why? Why am I looking at this person with negativity? Why am I not loving with everybody? And it's not always easy. But why am I doing this? Why am I wanting this? Why am I saying this? Why am I thinking this? And often it's the words we speak. If you stop and think before you speak, then we're not sometimes eating our words. How often have you thrown something out at somebody in the throes of a disagreement, argument, whatever, that it's like, I really wish I wouldn't have said that, because it's not a loving thought. And so we have to explore within ourselves, not why are they like they are, because we can't control anybody else. I'm really trying hard, but I'm finding it's not possible. What we can control is us and our intent and what we have to say or do. One of the lines I love from when I worked with Bob Proctor was, one of the things we can have a hard time controlling is our environment. You can do a lot of things, and it's in Think and Grow Rich that there's a lot of things you can do to make your world better. One of the most difficult is the environment you're in. When you're a child and you're in a negative environment, you're there. Why? I don't know, but it's part of our path. But, if you have family, friends that maybe don't feed you the way you'd like to be fed, or they're just not supportive to you, you don't go as often and you don't stay as long. Doesn't mean you don't have to participate, but you don't have to be there. So, you want to think about, why do I want to say this to this person? Or like for me, it's like, why is this person at work driving me crazy? What is it that I need to look at within myself? So I really found value in Rev Lori talked last week, and everyone should have gotten a copy, and we may have some more left if you weren't here last week, but Discerning Right Intention by Malika Chopra. So she's Deepak Chopra's daughter. So she has taken, intention and INT, you'll see there. So the first one is I is to incubate. And that's listening. Not listening to the noise around you, but listening within. This is why we go and take time for prayer meditation. So we can have that time to listen. It's like me saying, okay, so why is he driving me crazy? What is it I need to look at? Why? But being quiet and understanding. It's like, okay, maybe what you see is something you need to look at. To notice, to me, that's being mindful, that you notice when, as you become more aware of your intent and what you want to do each day, you'll notice things that bring you joy, and you'll notice things that take you away from joy. And we want to spend more time in the things and the people, around the people that bring us joy, the thoughts that bring us joy, and avoid the ones that don't. But it's about being mindful about those things. And as you have a specific intent, different things will come to you for you to notice. The T is for trust. And for me, this was about trusting my Christ being, and I think that's really what trust is, that we know that within us is our higher self, what we call in unity our Christ being. And that being gives us direction. It'll give us the answers. We also have a phenomenal contest at work, and I just, when we got out our phase 2 and what the top prize was, it's like, I want this. So my Christ being is saying, I think when we want something in our heart, it's longing, it's something we really want, but sometimes, like for me, it's about doubling my production. Ooh, exactly. What happens? All of a sudden, all this stuff gets mixed up in your head, and you start thinking about why you can't. And then I got really grumpy. And boy, was he ever driving me crazy. Because he doesn't even work as hard as I do. So understand that when you start to look at living a better life or stepping up, whether it's your production, your ability to love someone, whatever it is, it's been known in unity also to be known as chemicalization, but stuff will come up and bubble up, and it's not necessarily good stuff, but it's there. It makes you look at it, but also we have the ability, we have the power to discern or to eliminate it and just let it all go. So, trust what that idea comes to you, the longing in your heart or whatever your Christ being says to you, that is truth. Even if it's something you've never done before, you wouldn't be able to do it. It wouldn't be on your heart if you wouldn't be able to do it. Spirit's never said to me, you want to be a hockey player. Not a chance. That's not my path. Now, for some other people, it is their path. So I think if in my world, if there's a longing on my heart, it's something Spirit wants me to do. So trust it. Just trust it. Express. You want to speak it and write it. And Sue Monk Kidd talks about this in the book in her little blurb, and I'm just going to read a quick part. Okay, so maybe we'll go to Brene Brown first. Okay. So I'm going to do those up. I'm going to finish this. So you're going to speak it and write it. Nurture it. Change can be uncomfortable. So as I said, it's like you got to nurture that and deal with the uncomfortableness until it becomes comfortable, and then take the action. Because taking the action is really the only way to peace within. When you've got that longing on your heart, we had a company gathering or a team gathering yesterday, and one of the ladies I work with, who has also been a friend of mine for over 30 years, recently quit smoking. And she said, she started this course, our CEO's friends with Robin Sharma. They got us a great price on doing these online courses. And when Ruth started the course, she quickly stopped and wouldn't really say why. But what she expressed yesterday was what came to her as she was going through that is she needs to stop smoking. Well, Ruth's been smoking. She's my age, 60. She's been smoking since she was 14. And by golly, she enjoyed it. So she just dropped the course. She didn't want to look at that. She has now, today will be day 25, and she feels wonderful that, it's there. So it's uncomfortable, but take the action because she now has some peace within. If you don't do it, it's going to nag at you. Your heart is always going to be longing. So Brene Brown on talking about vulnerability, Oprah said to her, what does it mean to dare greatly? And Brene says, to me it means the courage to be vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, Oprah says most people think vulnerability is weakness. And I think that vulnerability is the cornerstone of confidence. The confidence to be yourself, which is all you really need in life, is to be more of yourself. Isn't that true? Like, don't you feel honored when someone shares with you a piece of them? When they open their heart and say, this is what I really feel, this is what I really want. We're being vulnerable when we're really being who we are. Another one of the great reliefs I've received in understanding more about the unity principles and who we're supposed to be in the Heart-Centered Metaphysics book, and when I did the course for my CE credits, we have a purpose. And how often do we what's my purpose? Am I supposed to be this? Am I supposed to be that? Do you know what our purpose is? It's just to be the best me I can be. That's it. It's not necessarily always easy, but that's pretty simple. Because when you focus on being the best you can be, you're bringing more of you to the world. You're allowing your Christ self to shine. And so it's about being a little bit better friend, or a little bit more loving partner or teacher or wife or husband, or it's just being the best you can be. We can all work on that each day. It doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire, or that you have to open a business, or that you have to have 16 kids. Oh my God, some people do that though. But it's really just about being your best self. So, and I think this is true, that sometimes we all have that facade. We play a different person. The other thing I've discovered about myself as I become more involved in unity and being a unitic and following the principles is that when I'm at work, when I'm at play, when I'm here, when I'm more the same self. Whereas it used to be, when I was with my family, I would be this way. When I was with my friends, I'd be this way. When I was alone, I'd be this way. I wasn't always the same self. I mean, I was, because wherever you go, you follow. You take yourself, but you put this facade on, you put this face on, that when you're feeling down, you put on a smile, and sometimes you have to, that you can't necessarily share everything, but it's really more, you want to be really you all the time, the real you, not the fake you. And then Sue Monk Kidd talks about declaring. So she says, but when we make that kind of statement, so declaring, and when in her little blurb in the book, she went to her husband and said, I'm going to be a writer. So she declared it. But when we make that kind of statement, it's an enunciation to ourselves and to the powers to be, to the divine. This is my intention. And so I think it helps to say our intention out loud, and I think it does too. Why? Well, number one, we have the power of power. It sits at the back of our throat, at the base of our tongue. It's purple in color, but it's our ability to speak as well. So declaring that, speaking it, you're not only saying it to yourself, you're saying it to the world, but really also to the universe. This is what I want. The clearer you are, the better the universe can provide for you. You know, to say I want a new car. Well, a new car to you could be a 1979 Gremlin. I don't know if they made them in those days, but I'm pretty sure everybody in this room isn't really wanting a Gremlin. And for you, probably everybody here remembers a Gremlin, but if you don't, I relate them to a running shoe. Or remember the Pacer. You got to be specific. I want a green car. I want a Volkswagen or whatever. The more specific you are, the easier it is for the universe to bring it to you. So it gives you that power, and it gives you clarity that this is my intention, but then also it's so much easier to follow through with everything else, because when something comes along, sometimes we have a hard decision, like I don't know, do I want this? Do I want it? No, yes, no. When you know what you want, what your intention is, will this take me closer to achieving my intention, or will it take me further away? And if it's going to take you further away, not a good idea. If it's going to take you closer, so that for me gives me clarity. So intent and your purpose. So going back to you, your purpose is to be the best you can be. We co-create our lives with the intent of, when we co-create our lives with the intent of being the best you every day. What if that's all anybody in the world ever did? That each day they just got up and said, today I'm going to be the best me I can be. Would it not just change the whole world? The real you would truly unfold. You would be able to let go of all that other stuff that you don't need to hold on to. And that Christ being that beautiful you will actually shine. You shine brighter. You notice that, and that's something that people noticed about me as I started coming to Unity and practicing the principles. People would be like, something different about you. What is it? You know, you're kind of glowing. You're just so happy. And it's understanding and it's that trust that we start to have with faith. That I feel somewhat sorry for all those other religious organizations, because I find that I really truly find that a lot of the people that don't think that we do, the way we do, are in a lot of fear. They say, my way is the only way. This is the best way, and you've got to believe this way. You've got to ask Christ to live in your heart, or you've got to do this, or you've got to, jump up and down and turn around 3 times and, pop a little white wafer in your mouth and then have some wine, and it's not really wine. And then maybe you'll be saved. As my faith has grown, my fear has gone. So many people that live in that kind of faith have a lot of fear. But for me, as my faith has grown, and if you're in a lot of fear, I suggest you look at just trusting. Have faith, because divine mind, God, spirit, tickety-boo, the interesting thing is that power that is within everything in this no thing, within, through, and flowing through all of us, the life force of the energy, really doesn't care what you call it. Really doesn't. You can call it any name you want. It'll respond. And if you have appreciation and gratitude, it'll respond in a loving way. And if you have negativity and anger and spew out all kinds of stuff you shouldn't be spewing out, it'll give you more of that. It doesn't care what you call it, and it doesn't care what you pick. But the interesting thing is it's always trying to bring you thoughts, things, people, for a higher and greater expansion of you. That when we start going down the wrong road, things happen. We hit bumps, or, how many times have you bumped your head, like banged your head, and it's kind of like I've learned to go, okay, what am I supposed to be paying attention to? Because the lesson will keep coming to you until you pay attention and make that change. So it's always, that's as we say with the prayer box, Spirit needs no explanation. When you pray for somebody or you ask for prayer for somebody, you just want the highest and greatest good for that person to unfold. And for some, we don't know all of these things, and this is what makes it difficult. For those of us that want to know how and why something works, it's like, how does that happen? How does it really happen that when you go, picking cars. Years ago, I wanted an Audi GT. I would sing the song like, I had a picture of it in my office, and I would sing the Janis Joplin song, but oh Lord, won't you buy me an Audi GT? But you know what? Everything unfolded, and I got that car. How does this no thing that really doesn't care what you call it and that we can't really see, how does it put everything together? That's the difficult part, because some of us really just want to know how and why it works. And I don't know that we'll ever truly understand it when we're in this physical world. But it does truly unfold. And you then serve your purpose, because you're just trying to be the best you can be, and the best you can be wants something. There's a longing, there's a desire on your heart for something. We all have them. And once you get that something, guess what? There's a new one. It never stops. It never truly stops. You can, visit people in their last month, week, whatever, there's still a longing of some sort. And sometimes maybe it's a longing to leave here and move on to another experience. But there is always something that's within your heart. And it doesn't have to, I also realized that I always thought it had to be something big. Sometimes it's just something simple enough that you want to be a better friend, a better mother, a better father, a better lover, partner, better member at Unity, a better member in your community, a better worker, whatever it is. We all have that, I believe, anyways. And if anybody doesn't, is there anybody here that doesn't have one, a longing on their heart? Good. I'm at the right place. So I encourage you to think about what your intention is, not only today, but for the rest of your life. And each day, wake up with, as Mary Morrissey says, each day it's a brand new baby day. You can do whatever you want with it. It's so cool that when we go to sleep, if we just let go of the day, maybe say some words of gratitude for what has happened that day, but just let it go each morning. You know, how many times have all of us gone to bed and it was very, not only dark outside, but dark within? And a good night's sleep, and you wake up and you get up and you do it again. But you each morning can set a new intention and carry through just with a better choice of how to do what it is you want to do. You know, when you think about last week, Rev Lori talked about William and Kate's choice for their school for their child. You know, the school that teaches children to be kind, not necessarily smart or get great grades, but to be kind. Why? What's their intent on that? That's an intention of to, as a parent, be the best parent you can be for your child, to be the kindest person they can be instead of a mean person. You know, so when you look at other people, you know, and you find yourself going into that judgment, just say to yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Because really there's no point. I used to play a game with a couple of friends, and I can't really remember the whole thing, but there was a certain play that was really no point. And we would just go, NP, no point. To go there is just, there's no point. It's just not good for you. It's not good for anybody. So catch yourself and say, why, and then listen and, you know, find out what is it that you're catching within yourself that maybe you need to look at. One of our members, and I was going to ask permission, and I didn't, so he's not here, but I'm just going to share this. He put a post on Facebook in the last couple of weeks, and something happened at work. And initially, as he read the email and what they were saying, he went into a spiral spin of, well, the nerve of them. How could they say this? I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. And as he said, he was, you know, partway, maybe 3/4 of the way, writing this nasty email back, like, haven't you people looked at this? And then he stopped, just like each and every one of us can do when we're in the middle of. And went, why am I doing this? They don't know what I know. They're not doing this to be mean to me. They just don't understand what I've done on the project or whatever the case may be. So he erased that email and sent a different one. And we can do that at any time. And for me, it's about how you feel. If it brings joy to your heart, you should do it. If it doesn't bring joy, you shouldn't be doing it. And that's the barometer. And it's an easy barometer, because we all know when we feel something, when we want to lash out and we want to, no matter how bad it was, we're only adding to that negativity. So try to turn it around and have a response or a reaction that will bring you some joy. And maybe it's just, Spirit, I bless this person. I don't know why their heart is so closed that they could be so cruel or appear so cruel or do, because we see and hear so much of stuff today with the media and the news and all the stuff we get caught up in. Today it's become so political, or it's the, the stuff that used to be south of the border, and now we've had challenges in Toronto, and we want to lash out. But each person that does something in such a negative way, I believe, and most of the unity movement, I think, believes that a person's heart is so closed. They've had something happen within them, within their life, that has closed off their heart. And so the only thing they do know is to lash out. We can't fix it. We can't change it. Remember, the only person you can control is you. What your thoughts are, what your intention is. So I invite you to choose to make it something of joy and positive and loving, so that you can be a good co-creator within the universe. Because Spirit wants to work with you in a loving way. Spirit is love. And when that other stuff comes up, it's just a matter of stop, think about it, ask yourself why, look at that answer, and let it go. And just be the best you can be. That's all you need to do. Let's take that into meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable in your seat. And settle in, and ideally your feet are flat on the floor. Nothing's crossed so the energy can flow. And settle into your heart space, where we truly feel in our heart the love and the joy that we have for each other, for ourselves, where the love of Spirit abides, and we are truly connected. Our hearts all beat together one by one with the pulse of the universe. And I invite you to meditate for a few moments on this statement and make these words yours and repeat them to yourself. My life is moving forward with ease, grace, and wondrous joy. My life is moving forward with ease, grace, and wondrous joy. My life is moving forward with ease, grace, and wondrous joy. And I see your life moving forward with ease, grace, and wondrous joy. And so it is.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Now is the time for the giving and receiving of our tithes and offerings. If you are holding an intention card, please place that in the blue bag as well. And we see those intentions unfolding as we know they will. Let's join together and sing.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Listen to the song we sing, lift your voices high. We can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and we may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will go and some will come, surely we shall pass. When the love that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight sparkling in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Let's do it again. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now, right now, right now, right now.
Awesome. So I invite you to join me as we recognize the blessings that we have here at Unity of London. And we so appreciate the tithes and gifts that come our way. For it gives us the opportunity to come together once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times as a group, but to truly learn and grow and expand and transform our lives in the world. And with this money, this energy that has been given, we will use it wisely, for we are guided with our power of wisdom, and know that the people that have given the gifts will be blessed, and the gifts will carry on to bless many more. And for that, we're very appreciative and so grateful. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Yay. Amen. Let's sing. Yay.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So as you go through this week, I invite you to set an intention each day, and when you find yourself challenged, ask yourself why, and make sure it brings joy. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yea, God.
Spread the word of what unity can offer. Spread the word of the message that you heard. Spread the word of what it means to you in your life. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word of all the things we shared this morning. Spread the word that we're surrounded here by love. Spread the word that our doors and hearts are open. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word to anyone who's lost and lonely. Spread the word as you go forth from this family. Spread the word. Spirit welcomes all who come here. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word of the things we shared this morning. Spread the word that you're surrounded here by love. Spread the word that our doors and hearts are open. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word.